Hello my scrappy friends, it is Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters and thank you for joining me for a Kitaholic Kits design team layout. In this month's kit, we received the Road Trip by Maggie Holmes ephemera pack that was full of all the tags and tickets. And at first when I looked at these, I thought they were going to be really difficult to use. In the photos that I had chosen for the month, I didn't really have any, holiday or going away or going on a train or just really anything kind of ticket related. And I just thought, gosh, I'm really stumped with these. I can absolutely use some of them to sort of layer under my photos and things, but I have a whole packet. What am I going to do? Then my brilliant sister had the idea of creating my own background with them and just filling up the entire page with a whole bunch of different colors and ones that were in sort of different sizes but went together, and all the kind of square shaped ones so there's no large random white space. And I thought this was an excellent idea. So that is exactly what I have done. I have layered up, or not even layered, I've almost like a grid measured out all of these tags in various colors and various rectangular and square shapes, and just filled up my entire 12 by 12 piece of white paper. Now you can see that I did pre-prepare this, and if you've been following my channel, you know that I tend to pre-prepare everything anyway. But in this case especially, because I definitely didn't want to get to the end and not have any that would fit, or get to the end and only have like the same colors next to each other. And I did try and spread some of those colors around. Now, the photos I'm going to use on this layout are absolutely nothing to do with the background. And I think that's okay, because I've sort of moved away from this piece of paper being all about travel and everything like that, and more just being an interesting background. Now, I did decide as I went along that the color choices, although they were beautiful and did match in with my photos, they were quite busy and they were quite distracting from my photos, because this is going to be a 3-photo layout. So I am also going to get some gesso now that I've stuck on the last 2 little pieces, and I'm going to just tone down sort of the middle section of the paper where the sort of photos and the embellishments are going to sit. So I've got a 2-inch, I think it's a 2-inch, and actually you can probably see it written in the silver there, might have been a 175 brush, and it's dry, so I am dry brushing. The effect this will have is quite distinct stroke marks. It is not smooth, as opposed to something like your blending brush or your makeup brush might be, with that smooth kind of blended in look. This is definitely a strokey brush streak type look, and part of that is because the brush was dry. If I had have wet the brush, it also would have softened the look down a little bit, but this was the feel that I was going for. So you can see I just did a super light layer, but it was all that it took to now help when I am putting my photos down, to let those sort of have their own space and not be swallowed up by all the colors and tickets and everything going on in the background. Just by coincidence, or well, that's why I chose these photos really, you can see that my son is wearing a t-shirt that is in a very similar color scheme as the yellow sort of mustard color that's featured in the kit or in this collection. Addison is also wearing a really nice light pink that is very similar to the pink in this collection. And then there's also other sort of colors going on in the background of the photo as well. I am now working on layering up my clusters, just using some of the ephemera that came in the ephemera packs and the Pink Fresh Studio sticker sheet. And I'm just trying to go with a feeling of sort of being chill, being relaxed, being together, just, spending time with each other, because I'm sure you can tell in the photos that Thomas is very close to Addison's head. He's really wanting to smother her in kisses. He's been told he's not really supposed to kiss Addison yet, but he just gets his face basically right in her face because he loves her so much. And she doesn't mind. She's such a beautiful little temperament. So I'm only putting 2 clusters on this layout. As you can see, I've created the first cluster in the right-hand side, and I'm now going to pop the second cluster in the opposite side over on here on the left. And they're going to basically mirror each other. They're both having one of those popcorns. They're both having a tag with some string. And it's going to be very, very similar in their feelings. Throw in a few stickers from the Pink Fresh Studios, and we are away to go. So for this particular layout, I haven't used any of the papers that came in the kit for the month, as I used a 12 by 12 and created my own background, and I only backed my photos in white. I just didn't really think that I needed to add more color by adding in some pattern papers as well with this one. So I'm just keeping the papers really simple because there's just so much else happening on the page. Even the photos themselves are quite busy. So I am just about finished now, popping on my last few pieces of ephemera, and then of course I'll pop on a title and some splatters. So I'm just using a really simple thicker sheet, an old one, phrase sheet, and I'm just using the word hello, just keeping it super simple, and lost my train of thought, just keeping it super simple. And I'm going to attempt to use those stickers just throughout the month as well. They are from my stash. Then I am popping on some splatters because I can't finish a layer without splatters. And this one is complete. So just a super fun layout with so much color and so much pop. And just, I think, a really great way to use up something like those tags. And I think it just, makes a really great ending to my layout. So here are my final photos. I hope this has inspired you to pull maybe some tags out of your stash if you have some hanging around, or if you've got this month's kit, here is a fabulous layout that you might be able to incorporate into one of your pages. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you all next week.